Rohini Nakshatra was in the sky, and the yoga of Ayushman was also present. In Mathura Vrindavan, Krishna made his divine appearance. And here we are some 50 centuries later. You don't have to do that. I'm doing that. You have to stop what you're doing. Thank you. And so now we're still celebrating. Some 50 centuries later, we're still celebrating Krishna's appearance. Krishna speaks about his appearance in Bhagavad Gita. He mentions Parichanaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Yuga after yuga, sambhavami, I manifest myself for 3 reasons. Reason number 1, vinashaya cha duskritam, to curb bad actors, curb bad elements in the world. The second one, dharma samstapanartaya, for the purpose of establishing dharma. Dharma samstapana, for the purpose of establishing dharma, Krishna appears. And then finally, parichanaya, to deliver the sadhus, parichanaya sadhunam. For 3 reasons Krishna appears, according to Gita. He establishes dharma, he gets rid of unwanted things in the world, and he protects sadhus. Over the last thousands of years, bhaktas have reflected on this verse, commentated on it. And they pointed out something which is pretty obvious. Hey, Jesus, sit down somewhere, man. Just sit somewhere, in the corner somewhere. Not there in the middle of the place, on the side somewhere. They made an interesting point, our commentators. Can Krishna establish dharma without appearing directly? It's a simple question. Maybe you've been fasting all day, so your brain's not working. You can't have. Who's been fasting all day? Raise your hand. Now, when you say fasting, who's fasted from water all day? No water or food, nothing. Room got smaller, right? It's us Bengalis. That's it. So, yeah, maybe your brain's not working. Let me ask the question again. Could Krishna, an omnipotent supreme being, possessed of avichinta Shakti, unlimited Shakti, could Krishna establish dharma without personally appearing in this world? The answer would have to be yes. Of course it could. Because he is omnipotent. So obviously he could do that. Could Krishna remove unwanted elements without appearing directly in this world? The answer again is yes. There you go. The last one. Could Krishna deliver his devotees without appearing in this world? It would seem yes, right? Our tradition disagrees. They make a simple point. 4 devotees who love Krishna are in love with Krishna. Nothing but Krishna's appearance will pacify them. If you love somebody and they send you money or they send you houses and cars and planes as gifts, but they refuse to come and sit with you, to be with you, to be close to you. And they never appear before you. They just send you gift after gift. Or maybe they arrange for things to happen to benefit you. Will you feel satisfied? Not if you really love them. And so the devotees made a point that although Krishna appears for three purposes, two of them could be accomplished without his direct appearance. One of them requires his direct appearance. For devotees who love God, who are in love with God, who are possessed of this intense feeling for Krishna, nothing but his appearance will slake their thirst, will satisfy them, will pacify them. Therefore, Krishna must appear in this world to, who do I see? Go and just close those doors for me. Or tell them to be quiet, or both. Thank you. My brain's not working so well because I've also been fasting all day. And it starts to get tough. And so to give a lecture right at the end of your fast, it's like... Normally the noise wouldn't bother me, but like I said, my mind is fragile now. My mind is dehydrated. And I always say, I can drink water because I have seva to do, but then I always think, let me delay drinking water, and then it's like 5 p.m. I start thinking, why? I've fasted already. Why? And it's 8, it's 9, pretty soon here I am. Krishna, being omnipotent, having avichincha shakti, he can establish dharma like that. He doesn't have to snap his fingers. He can just think it and dharma is established. He can finish the duskritas, the bad behaving people in the world, the bad elements of this world, just by a thought. They can all be finished. But for his devotees, he must appear. He must show himself. Because they will not be satisfied with anything else. The purpose of our movement is to cultivate that type of rag, that type of attachment for Krishna in people all over the world. Krishna says, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana parupasate, that if you just think of me and nothing else, ananya chinta, just you think of me and nothing else, then tesham nityaviyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham, I will, for those people who are like that, they're yoked to me. Nitya viyukta, they're yoked to me, they're yoga to me. Through that thought, yogakshemam vahami aham, I will carry them what they lack. I will preserve what they have. Sambhavami, I will appear. I will manifest myself. Vahami, I will carry them what they lack and preserve what they have. When I was living in India, I would oftentimes see on Padayatra, I would see billboards of Indian insurance companies. And on those billboards, they would quote this verse, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. They're saying if you buy our insurance and then some difficult thing happens, then we will take care of you. They were pious enough. They quoted the shloka. You remember seeing this? Is it still there? They still do it, right? It's good marketing. But Krishna uses this language, first person, present tense, singular. I will carry you. I will appear. Because nothing else will satisfy the devotee but for Krishna to himself. One time there was a devotee. His name was Arjuna Acharya, Udishi Pandit. He thought this word Vahami was too much. So when he was commentating on the Gita, he crossed it out. He took his sharp stick and he crossed out on the parchment that he was writing on. The way pundits used to write was they would take parchment and they would carve into it, and you could put some graphite. Shishi Pancha Tattva ki, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki, Lok Premanand. So he crossed it out, carved into the paper. This is not right. We should not make Krishna into an order carrier where he's personally having to do everything. He's God. He can arrange for it to be done. So he changed to Karomi. I make it done. Karomyaham. I make it done. As opposed to Vahamyaham. I personally carry it to you. Like Krishna is some kind of a slave for his devotee. He thought he was doing some service, correcting the Gita, which was hyperbolic. And he went out to take his bath like Brahmanas do. 3 times a day they take their bath, chant their Gayatri, and then they take prasad. And when he came back, his wife, for the first time in their whole marriage, she had not waited for him. She cooked, eaten herself, and left her husband with leftovers. And he came in the house and he said, Devi, turn off your phone. He said, Devi, why have you eaten without me? And she said, I don't want to talk to you. And she kept trying to, he could not believe this. Why would she do this? And he kept trying to talk to her. And eventually she said, I did not know I had married such a cruel man. What are you talking about? I'm a Brahmin. Samadama tapapsho shantiraja nevacha yan vigyanam astityam brahmakarma swabhavajan. I follow all these rules of brahmakarma. I'm equipoised, I'm tolerant, I'm religious, truthful. I don't behave, I'm forgiving, I'm tolerant. I don't behave cruel. And she said, well, after you left, those boys came and I saw how you beat them. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I just went and took my bath. She said, no, after you left, these boys came and they brought so much. They brought ghee and oil and sabjis, rice and dal. Look, my whole pantry is filled. And she showed the whole pantry is filled with hundreds and hundreds of kilos of these items. And he said, 2 boys brought them? He said, what did they look like? She said, one of them was dark skin, dark complexion, like a monsoon cloud, wearing a yellow dhoti. Very beautiful. Looked like, his dhoti looked like lightning. And he looked like a monsoon cloud, and the dhoti looked like a streak of lightning in the monsoon cloud. And then the other one was milky white. He was wearing a blue dhoti. And then Arjuna Acharya could understand that Krishna and Balaram had come to his home. And he was a pandit, he was learning. So he immediately ran back. And where he had crossed out Vahami and written Karomi, crossed out I carry them, and he wrote down I make it done, and he rewrote Vahami. He realized he had misunderstood the Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is, what does Krishna do for his devotee? The devotee is suffering, Arjuna is suffering, so what does Krishna do? He becomes his chauffeur. The Sutta caste, the charioteer caste, is a low caste in India. It's a low class caste. When Karna came to show his valiance, the other Pandavas, they said, we will not compete with him. He's a Sutta Putra, son of a charioteer. He's not qualified to compete with Kshatriyas. And as a matter of principle, we won't even entertain it. And Karna was forced to leave the assembly, humiliated, because he wasn't even allowed to compete. But who is Krishna? Krishna is a Achyuta. He's infallible. But what does he become? He becomes Partha Sarthi. He becomes Arjuna's chariot driver. This is God. In any circumstance you find yourself in, He will never abandon you. He'll never betray you. He'll always support you and be there for you. To what extent? He'll even become your chariot driver. He'll even become your friend. He'll even become your lover. This is Krishna. The Supreme Lord, also capable not only of unlimited power, like Vishnu, but also of unlimited love. Krishna's devotees are extraordinary. Yashoda Mai has liquid bliss flowing from her breast out of affection. Even she's 89 years old and she sees Krishna, and immediately milk begins flowing from her breast. When she saw Krishna, when Krishna was born, she looked at him and she felt like she was looking at a lake of blue sapphires with rubies in it. Krishna's cheeks were reddish and his feet were reddish. He looked like a lake of blue sapphires with rubies floating in it. His cheeks, the soles of his hands and feet. Then she looked at him another moment and she said, no, he looks like a garden of blue lotuses with banduka and java flowers interspersed with a red color. As she was looking at Krishna, she was seeing personified gems, personified flowers, so beautiful. And she thought, no, he looks like a mound of dark musk. And she thought, no, he looks like the gold merchant stone, the streaks of gold on it. When the gold merchant rubs the gold on the stones, prove it's real gold, leaves streaks of it. He looks like a monsoon cloud with lightning streaking through from the Srivatsa. He wasn't wearing the yellow blue. From the Lakshmi Rekha on his chest. The Srivatsa she thought was her breast milk on his very soft. She thought his body looked like it was made out of sea foam, but that had been colored by musk, so it was ink color. Krishna's naturally smells like musk. The gopis and gopas in Nanda Maharaj's house couldn't believe it. The whole room smelled like musk. And so then she thought he looked like a sea moss with musk oil in it, making it dark color. It was so soft, she was afraid that when she fed him, she might bruise him. Krishna's form is so beautiful. Krishna's personality is so lovely. Krishna's filled with unlimited qualities. The most compassionate, the most loving, the most kind person you'll ever meet. In fact, when you see devotees and they're the best people you ever meet, it's because they are reflecting Krishna's qualities. How can devotees reflect Krishna's qualities in this world? Because they're Krishnaika Sharma. They're so in love with Krishna. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yeno mamupiyanti te tesham evanukam partamaham jnana jam tamo nashayam yatma bhavasto jnana vipena bhasha. Krishna's devotees serve him bhajatam priti purvakam, according to love. And then what happens? Dadami, again, personal. I give them buddhi. He will give you intelligence. Yena mamupiyanti te, by which you can come to him. And then again, nashayami, he will destroy. All these words are in this first person singular. Nashami, I will destroy. Dadami, I will give. Vahami, I will carry. Sambhavami, I will appear. Again and again, he says it again and again. Moksha Ishami, I will deliver you. Personally. Mokshaishami is in the present tense, first person singular. I will personally deliver you. What do? Mamekam Shodanam Braja. You just surrender to me. Aham Tvam Savapapebhyo Mokshaishami. I will deliver you from all of your difficulty. Mashuchaha. Do not fear. The message of Krishna is very clear. Not that he's so powerful, he gets other people to do these things. He himself will do these things to you, for you. He himself will assist you. He himself will come into your heart, will come into your mind. And so our movement for the last 5 centuries and for the last 50 centuries has been doing the same thing. We've been teaching people, Bhadra Krishna, Kodo Krishna, Bhadra Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Kodo Krishna, Shikha. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pitta, Krishna Pranadhan. Bhadra Krishna, you worship Krishna. Bolo Krishna, you chant Krishna's name. Kodo Krishna Shiksha, you follow Krishna's instruction. Krishna Mata, Krishna is your mother. Krishna Pitta, Krishna is your father. Krishna Pranadhan, Krishna is the wealth of your life. Prana Praneshu, he's the life of your life. And so, just like our predecessors have done, on Janmashtami we bathe the deity, we fast, we do kirtan, we do seva, we do arti, we stay up until midnight, we see the arti, just like our predecessors have done for millennia. Why? Because we want to love Krishna like they do. We want to see Krishna like they do. We want Krishna to come for us also. We don't want mukti. We want vimukti. We want praying. We don't just want liberation. We don't just want salvation. We don't just want siddhi. We want love for Krishna. We want to see Krishna. We want to embrace Krishna. This is the Hare Krishna movement. This kind of love. So what do? We wait up all night for Krishna. Not to get some blessing or some wealth or some good fortune. The only good fortune we want is we want to see Krishna. The only good fortune we want is we want to make Krishna smile. Other than that, we don't really have any aspirations in life. This is all of it. And how does Krishna reciprocate with that? It's amazing what happens. Krishna says, Samoham Sarvabhuteshu. He's equal to everyone. Nadvesha asti me priya. No one is dear to him or hated by him. Yetu bhajanti mam bhaktya. If you worship him with bhakti, maite apiteshu aham, then you will always be with him. But even more, he'll always be with you. Normally, we are within Krishna, but Krishna is beyond us. But the miracle of bhakti is that just as much as we can love Krishna, Krishna can love us just as much back. And his love for us manifests extraordinarily. The most great secret in our tradition is that Krishna is bound by love. He's prem vasya. He's controlled by love. He's bound by love. He even says to the gopis, Naparayam, I cannot repay you. Your love for me is so pure. You only love me. I have to love everyone. But you just love me. Naparayam, I cannot repay you. Apiteshoham, I will also always be with you. I will vahami, I will carry you. Nashayami, I will destroy any difficulty. Mokshaishami, I will personally liberate you. Sambhavami, I will appear before you. Dadami, I will give you whatever you require. Because as much as we want to love Krishna purely and nothing else, we're eager for that love. We have loyam for that love. Greed, eagerness, samutkant. Our necks are stretched out. Samutkant. Aput means up. Kant, your neck is stretched out as you're looking for Krishna. Just as much as that, he's also looking for you. And so who do we worship? We worship Krishna. We worship God. But what form? What nature? We worship Krishna, who's bound as Damodar around the belly by his mother's love, who's tied to the grinding stone, the mortar and pestle. Actually, the grinding mortar is large, not a mortar and pestle, it's small. Ulukala. He's bound to us. We're looking for Krishna, who is controlled by his devotees' love, who's attracted. Prem is Krishna Karshini. It attracts Krishna. Krishna attracts everyone. He's the all-attractive being. Krishna means all-attractive. But Prem attracts even Krishna. Love attracts even Krishna. So what are we doing on this day? We're fasting. And then we'll be feasting. We're doing kirtan. We're performing austerities. We're staying up all night. We're doing ritual. We're hearing Krishna Katha. But what are we really doing? We're trying to show Krishna just how much we love him. So he'll show himself to us. That's why we close the doors. And now you can't see Krishna. But then we'll do some kirtan. We'll cry out to Krishna, and then Krishna will appear. And if you cry out properly, Satatam kirtayanto mam, Krishna says you should always be glorified purely. If we do kirtan nicely tonight, the doors will open and you won't just see a statue. You'll see Krishna. You'll catch a glimpse of Krishna. You can always catch a glimpse of Krishna. On days like today, we just try a little harder. He wants to be caught. He wants Yashoda to bind him. He wants the gopis to catch him. He wants to become your servant, your charioteer. He has that much love for you. He's just waiting for you to open your heart, open that door. That's why we cry out. We want to be like a child crying for its mother. We try to cry out purely, knowing that we are the X factor. If we do our service right, if we cry out properly, Krishna will appear. So we have 18 minutes left. The lights will go out. There'll be a candlelight arti done. We should chant from our hearts with full sincerity. Feel a little separation. And then Krishna will appear for us. Hare Krishna.